the assurance, the terms of sale of that water, the costing, the tariffs. May I advise just at this stage that there will be no interface between the consumer, that is the beneficiary of the water, and the developer, because that is not possible. You can see that would not be an equal relationship. There are water providers that will be dealing with the consumer, the mwananchi. The developer will be dealing with the government at government level and the development agency level. That is, for example, at the water, NIB or NIA now, at that level, the agreements will be exchanged, monies provided for, develop the water resource, hand over to the agency. Then the agency will be able to know, because we have water companies that even today, water is really actually a trading commodity. The water you are using in your house, even in this parliament, is for sale. We buy water. What is important is how how the instruments for control and regulation of tariffs is done. And if there are challenges there, it is an area that Parliament, through the Regulatory Registration Committee, will be able to address. If tariffs are not reasonable, Parliament would have a role. And I think so far, I've looked at some of the studies and documentation with the ministry. Every shilling you invest in water brings 4 shillings, 4 times. Indeed, in our country, it could be up to 10 shillings. So I think there is room for control and standardization. And therefore, I can assure you, I think we have a role there. There is no need of fears. I do not see a situation where, and if you listened to the president himself, he said that the agreements will be first proposed by the relevant by Treasury and then come to the ministry, and I think it will obviously be a joint effort. We will look at those documents together. There will be public participation. The public will be able to say, even today, they are able to be consulted, and there are bad practices. And unfortunately, actually, there is also a lot of theft. Chairman, there is a lot of theft of water. Some of the challenges is that non-revenue water, that is now about 40% of all the water that we develop and we have. So if we lose 40% to theft and leakages, that's some of the things that we are supposed to be doing so that we can increase our volumes or our water resource. Miriam Massa is talking about stored projects. I did say earlier there are many stored projects. There are several which are ongoing, complete and incomplete. And the ministry is working hard. I have looked at their portfolio, and I think they are working hard. The impediment is actually funding. And that's why if we wait to raise money from our revenue, you can be sure, like the Northern Corrector, Chairman, I found that the Northern Corrector, which is a major project for Nairobi water, it will be at the compression stage. It's now at 95%. It's supposed to give Nairobi 140 cubic meters of water. That project was supposed to have been completed in year 2000. We are developing it now. We are completing it now. What does that tell you? Already the population has gone up, and therefore we are still lagging behind. And that is the same story for the entire country. We are behind maybe by 20 years. So let's work together to deal with the problem. Do I plan 1 million acres from Nelson Koech? Will we revive some of the dams that possibly stored because of toxic politics? Some of the dams are actually in the Ministry of East Africa and